video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticisms, comments, news reportings, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing.
CCNTV, bringing you captivating news since 2019.
And welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and of course, along with myself and Brother Nate, it's Tuesday. What else are we talking about but news, politics, and everything else going on in this crazy world, let alone on these YouTube streets? It's always a pleasure to see you all. Brother Nate, let me know when you're ready with the good old thumbs up. All right, thank you. I will pop you on. I saw you. I got you. Hey, what's going on, sir? Nice to see you. How are you?
Oh, shit. I'm looking at the wrong screen.
So you
hey. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, damn, this thing is lagging as shit tonight. That's because you ain't looking at the right one. Camera over here. Okay. Hey, how's everybody doing? How are you doing tonight? Melissa, look below my name. This one's for you.
Somebody definitely has a bigger budget tonight.
Boy, I tell you, I'm cheap, man. I'm cheap, boy. I'm cheap. No, it's just my artistic skills of cheapness.
I mean, hey, it works. It's great. How is everybody today on this lovely Tuesday evening? Let's run through this real quick. Miss Regina Myers, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Excuse me, who else here? Auntie Melissa Scott, of course, always a pleasure to see you. Patty Duke, always a pleasure. Patty. And thank you so much for the little things you do send on Instagram. They are hilarious.
Yes.
So thank you so much. And keep them coming. And pretty much everybody else who drops in the chat, you know, welcome. Of course, your waiter or waitress will have your drink of choice. Tonight, my drink is just plain water because there's so much shadackle going on, in the words of Kimmy, in news, period, that I need to be cleared to really get through a lot of this. But without further ado, of course, as always, let's get into the news. Unless you have something you want to add real quick before we get started.
No, nothing.
No.
Think of. Let's see, pineapple. That's the only thing I can think of. Pineapple. I didn't know that either. I had to Google it too, Melissa, girl, because I was like, "Oh, you get the hell out of here with the pineapple." Yes, pineapple. Yeah, Melissa came on earlier this week, and she was talking about the cruise, and her and Miss Viv were talking about pineapple. What the pineapple means on the door. It means that you're a swinger.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Me neither. I didn't know all kinds of fruits. No, I that shit. Like I said, I had to look that one up myself.
So
I was like, what?
So you got to
You
have
put
like a pineapple sticker, or
I guess it's like a sticker or something that it's an upside down pineapple. That's the symbol
oh,
for a couple that swings.
oh, okay, okay. Well, thank you for thank you for the
We
knowledge.
learn
You learn
something new
something
every day over here at
right?
Sesame Street.
You definitely do. You definitely do. An upside down pineapple means somebody's swinging. Okay, all
Yeah,
right,
I was like, yeah,
interesting.
yeah, I'm like a
Now,
pineapple.
right now, be on the lookout for upside down pineapples to be like, aha, you freak nasties, you freak nasty. But yeah, that'll be interesting. I'll look around for that. See, now I'm gonna be scoping for it. People's tattoos and everything. Like, is that a pineapple? Is it upside
Yeah,
down?
yeah, everything's a fruit. I'm like, what the hell?
I didn't know anything about that.
I didn't either.
That's good news. That's good news. Definitely some news we could use, because you don't want to be up there, sitting up there
I
messing around with
know.
somebody or just talking to somebody socially, and they be
Hmm.
sizing you up to join the clan. So,
You done signed up for something you ain't ready for.
right, you wasn't ready. So, know what the signs are. But without
Hmm.
further ado, let's get to this news real quick. Okay, so for this first story, you will know why I said I needed to drink water tonight, because of the shit going on in this, like, this whole judicial system. This everything is just shit. Remember the young man that was shot in the head and in the wrist after knocking on the wrong door when he went to go pick up his younger brother and sister from a party, I believe, or some sort
Yes,
of.
he has brothers.
Yeah, it was just his brothers. I thought it was a
Yeah.
brother. Okay. Well, he went to go pick up his siblings from their friend's house, and he went to the wrong door. And this 80-some-odd-year-old man, white man looking, but he looked kind of something other to me, but whatever, shot him through the door. And wait, this all gets better because another one has just happened, but we'll get into that in a second. The judge in this case, okay, has ordered the records of this said white man sealed, because he's saying that, one, this case has brought up so much attention that this poor 80-year-old something white man had to move 3 times because of the publicity that this case has caused, and his safety, and his phone number was put on social media, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, we need to feel sorry for this old white man who shot a kid for knocking on the wrong door. Like, he don't know how to either open the door or speak through the window or whatever and say wrong house. I just don't get it. So now we supposed to feel sorry for the old white man who shot a kid. So yeah, I was just totally like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, he shot and nearly almost killed a kid. But then I'm not surprised. They're the same group of like band leaders who would let an 80-some-odd-year woman who, was the cause of a kid being murdered back in 1950 some odd. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised that you let her die in peace. Why would you not let this old man who shot and nearly almost murdered a kid from knocking on the wrong door because he was afraid that he was going to get robbed by a black man? I'm so tired of this. Like, every black man is the most feared thing in the world. Every black kid is not a kid. They're a man. Every young girl is not a girl. She's a woman. All of these kind of things where I don't even want to use the word, but for lack of a better word or phrase or term, we'll go with Miss Hillary Rodham Clinton and say super predator type bullshit. I don't know. I'm really like, first of all, I think this judge should be really looked into and made to step down from this case. He's talking about he doesn't think that this person, because I don't even want to say his name because he's a creature, no matter how old he is, would not have a fair trial because of all of this. It's been on world news. There's no way he could escape it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what, take him down to Florida? Were you trying to make it all white anyway to see if he would have a fair shake? But he nearly murdered a kid for knocking on the wrong door. I really don't. I don't know. I'm not finding anything. There's nothing to grab here. There's nothing to grab here but white supremacy at its best. I don't know. Your thoughts? I'm done.
Yeah, you're right, Regina. It is a pattern. And this is just one of the consequences that comes along with it. I've really gotten to the point now I don't believe in the word justice because there is no such thing. And
it's just us. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get the bullshit.
So it just comes along with being harassed because somebody posted his bail.
Right.
Because it was set extremely high.
Right. Of his $200,000, he had to pay, of course, 10%, which was $20,000.
$20,000. So somebody put it up.
Right. And somebody's paying for him to move 3 times.
Well, doesn't he have a GoFundMe also?
He does.
But, that seems to be the trend also. That these people are they're getting financial backing from their followers,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel sorry for him,
Right. Yeah.
Not at all. So that's all I have to say on that. But it is a pattern, and especially down in Florida and Texas. It just seems like the norm. Here you have people being shot,
Mm-hmm.
and the murderers are walking, and I'm just surprised that the community just hasn't torched the place. They know where they live at and everything else. Most likely there's nobody in the homes anyway because there's no way in the world that they would their counties would spend so much money to have police protection around the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So they would definitely wouldn't do that. They would definitely have him hidden out of state somewhere until he his court date shows up. So
Right.
it is what it is. I'm just surprised that the place hasn't burned.
Hell, I wish it would at this point. It's looking like that's the only way I think they understand that we're not back in them days. But this story, which is very relative to the story we just talked about, this mother of 4 was shot and killed in Florida this week following CNN, because I read the article from CNN talking about they had a long time feud. Nobody else is reporting this long time feud. Everybody else is just really saying that these kids were playing in an open field by an apartment complex. If you live in an apartment, you know that there's extra land sometimes connected to where houses are, and a lot of times people play soccer in those open spaces or just plays. The woman came out of her apartment, because I guess she's on the ground floor, and walked over to the kids, telling them to get off her land and yelling racial slurs at the kids. They wind up leaving, but they left the iPad. When the young man went back to get the iPad that she took, mind you. When he left it, she took it. When he went to retrieve the iPad, she threw it at him, which hit him in the head and cracked the iPad itself. Now, as children are taught to do, they went and told their mother about what they encountered with this person. So she, as she would do, as an adult would do with children, went to approach the lady herself and find out what's the issue with my kids, and probably sure you're going to pay for this iPad you broke, because that wasn't your property to break, let alone take. So the white woman shot through the door. Shot the woman point blank range. I think she got hit in the head and died. So now there are 4 children ranging from the age of like 3 to 12 or 13 without a mother. For a senseless, cowardly act of something that don't even belong to you. You pay for the rent in your place. You don't own all of that. Like, granted, you may not like it. It may be too loud, what have you. You either say something to the parent. I don't know where we lost that, because that used to be the thing. I could not, and I would definitely get in trouble if I felt like I could talk to another adult. Like, it was like, no, you better go tell your mother or go get your mother, because I'm not talking to you. You're a child. I don't know where that has been lost, but I guess since we're super predators, doesn't matter. You know, anytime they feel any way about any one of us, they will address us as they see fit. And being that this is Florida, I can just hear the stand your ground kind of situations. That's why in this article with CNN, when they said long-standing feud, I was like, see, there we go with making this narrative to be not a one-time incident, that this was a back and forth constant thing with this lady, with this white woman and this black woman, when it could have just been a one-time thing. She may have, been mad and yelled before, but it wasn't to this degree where she actually approached them and get off my land, you whatever she said, a lot of N-words and a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't know. I'm just really in a place where something needs to be done. And I don't think sitting around talking about it, having meetings, marching, all the other stuff that we've been doing is working. Because the only person getting paid out of this, to be very honest with you, it's been Crump and the rest of the Action Network kind of group. They're the only ones really getting paid and benefiting from any of this. And it's sad that all of this has to happen for people to wake up and see. This being a place, Florida, like I said, once again, with the stand your ground laws, I can just, hear the remnants of she approached me. She came onto my property or my door. She was banging on my door. She was acting real outraged, and I was scared for my life. When the woman probably didn't even get a chance to knock because you saw her coming and instantly you just shot because, lo and behold, you face the consequences of your actions when you feel like you could put your hands on other people's children. I don't know. I just think this whole everybody getting a gun and it's a free for all kind of situation for these people who are weak, not only weak-minded, but physically weak, can't do anything, and they feel extra emboldened by the piece of steel that they carry, and the fact that if they choose to use it because they feel like their lives, quote unquote, are in danger, that there's nothing that can be done, no sort of recourse that can be done into following that. I don't know. I'm done with that. You have anything you want to add to that? Because I just feel like,
the local government is doing exactly what they want their constituents to do, to take the matters into their own hands. They've emboldened them, especially with the stand your ground law. And it's so vague because, of course, everybody's interpretation of what stand your ground means is totally different.
Right.
Anytime that the police department has issues with it, that they don't even know what to do. They don't even know what to do with it.
Right.
But they're dragging, they're pretty much dragging their feet. I think for when it comes down to people's kids, and especially say the past 20, 25 years, we have a disconnect because you have the younger folk that have grown up, well, I'm not going to have no stranger policing my kid type of thing. And that pretty much covers everything. Even if your kid's tearing up shit, you can't say shit to my kid, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So you have that going on. But then when you have an older person and all they hear now is, you can stand your ground. If somebody comes on your property, we can, you can go ahead and handle your business if you're feeling threatened. And that's what, like I said, that's the government. That's the local government. Is doing exactly. Anybody can pick up a weapon, get a gun without, licenses in some of these states. Now they made it so easy. So it's pretty much a free for all. And again, and next week you'll have another one. That's the whole thing. You'll have another one.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. Again, the story on CNN, because there wasn't nobody even reporting all the extra stuff. But they said that there was one incident where the white woman, was yelling at the kids and threw a pair of skates.
Skates, yeah. Heard, you heard that.
Witnesses told the police about that situation, and nothing was done. I don't know if this was during the same incident. Doesn't say, but I think so, because the child's electronic tablet device prior to the shooting was thrown to the children. So this might have happened with the same incident.
But then too, where the 911 calls? Right. That's I'm waiting to hear that. This woman
called 911,
and it's been an ongoing thing, and they're aware of what it is. It wasn't the first time that we've heard from them, but I haven't even heard from that. Maybe another story. Somebody will mention it if there were any.
Well, she's a 58-year-old white woman. Yeah. And of course, Ben Crump and his legal team are representing that woman's family. But I mean, it's sad.
It's horrible, and to be shot and killed in front of your child.
Right.
Now, this woman has big balls if she's back in that house in that neighborhood. She has big balls.
No, she not, because I'm sure that the police department themselves have made sure they remove her from her domicile.
Oh yeah, they probably put her up,
right.
Put her up somewhere in protective custody, and but because they've even showed her address.
Yep, which is the case that they always do. They always quick to run and defend, and it's crazy, that they always quick to point to stand your ground in self-defense when it's situations like this. But when it's other crimes, even when it's black on black, there's no stand your ground. Everybody's in trouble. Everybody's in trouble.
Oh no, and they're locked up.
Yeah, and they ain't asking no questions.
They're locked up.
Yeah.
So if y'all catch Gladys out on the street, it's stand your ground. You felt threatened by her. Remember, you say that I was afraid for my life. I felt threatened, and you popped a 58-year-old woman.
I mean, just Karens of the world. Just watch out for their asses. And speaking of Karens of the world, the student loan freeze is ending. So Sally Mae is coming for her,
Coming for that
coming
ass.
for that ass. Sally Mae is coming, and she's coming around the corner now that this debt ceiling between the White House and these um, radical Republicans have come to an end. They have agreed to lift the student loan freeze. All right. So really what this means is, in a nutshell, Sally Mae is coming for her money. Okay. So there have been a lot of concessions, of course, to what Democrats allegedly wanted, which I don't really think they really wanted anything. They'd rather just, whatever the Republicans wanted to do, okay, do it. Because how I look at it, what they figure is, you go ahead and fuck it up so we can blame it on you.
Yeah.
During election season. That's all they really kind of, and hopefully that will gain us back power in the House and keep the Senate. That's really what they're gunning for. So are they really trying to make concessions and be a kumbaya? No. Do I think they should play this game? No. It's a stupid game to play. It's dumb. It doesn't benefit them in any way because it just makes them look like they always look like they don't fight for anything, look like they don't really stand up to
and they don't seize the opportunity when they had total control.
Yeah,
when you have total control, you grab it by the throat and you run with it.
Yeah.
You don't sit around. I don't want talking a whole bunch of bipartisan bullshit. Nobody wants to hear that. That's white people talking. We don't want to hear that shit. I'm not here because you know what? If they're never mind. Go ahead. Because it's about to get real.
I mean, it's really real. Because I mean, if they're willing to just excuse me, but if they're willing to just fuck you in the ass with no lube, if the Republicans are willing to do it, why can't you? I mean, because
they go to jam the fuck out of you. But when it's your term, they want you to be gentle.
Right.
This is my first time.
Right. I'm a delicate flower. But when it's them, they'll run through and put down anything and be like, okay, well,
my belief is rip that ass up. Plain and simple. Just rip that ass up because they're going to do it. They don't care. Mm-hmm. They don't even care about their own constituents. That's why they jam all that stuff through.
All right. So do note that the federal student loan bill will resume on August 30th. That will give people the rest of the summer to prepare to pay their loans again. The end of the student loan.
So cancel that trip to Florida.
The end of the student loan debt relief freeze means that interest will once again start accruing on your loans. Now, the question is, which they ain't talking about, will that be the interest starting when it starts? Or will you be paying the interest of the 3-year hiatus on top of your loan? That's what they haven't.
I just hope that you were making some sort of payments, something.
Or saving it. Doing something.
Yeah.
Doing something. Because they about to
jam you.
They're about to give some people a whole new one. So things have changed in the world, of course, since COVID. And the U.S. Department of Education is no different. They have now reopened that whole thing. Remember, Biden's whole campaign was on the student loans and loan forgiveness. And then it went down from complete loan forgiveness to giving people $10,000 towards their loan, which in some cases for a lot of people who have went to the dream of the Ivy League school and paying all that money is really a drop in the bucket to what they have to pay. But I guess they figure something is better than nothing. But at the end of the day, here you come around with nothing because he never even got that off the ground. He barely got him. You know what? He barely got him.
Yeah, you're right. They're coming for the rest of that $15 an hour, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean,
they're coming for it.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, this sweep and loan forgiveness plan that was canceled, supposed to cancel up to $20,000
Yeah,
dollars of student debt for people who were making less than 125,000 a year
yeah, which was probably
individually.
everybody.
Right, individually, and 250,000 for married couples. So, I mean,
Well, it means just pay your bill.
yeah, I mean,
That's all.
at the end of the day, for me, it's simple. Stop looking for these people, and these people, I
To
mean
do
them,
anything for you.
to do anything for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
they'll do something. They'll do something for you.
or do something to you.
Do you?
Right, do you, not the way you think.
I've been ripped.
Right. Right. And speaking of doing, for those, and this is a bit more serious, for those of you suffering from any types of cancers and things of that nature, during this whole pandemic, they have been limiting supplies of cancer drugs to patients and patient care. Definitely check out this article. It is very important. Uh, talking about drug shortages across the United States and the rest of the world, which would eventually have people not be able to receive the best treatment for things like certain types of cancer and other things of that nature, chemotherapy treatments, so on and so forth. Fibroid treatments, you name it. This is important because a lot of us do suffer or know people who have suffered or passed from cancer. It is growing definitely in our community, but we definitely need to definitely pay attention to all this. Now, I always side eye all this talk about shortages because all I think of is cha-ching, money, 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 money. Because of course, when they say shortage, people will dig into their pockets real deep to ensure that they get these drugs. And at the end of the day, who makes the money but the corporations? And they don't do nothing to give back, nothing to surplus, nothing, none of that. So I don't know, but definitely we're going to start paying attention and changing up our diets a little bit if that helps. That way you don't have to depend on so much. Find other alternatives, do other things, because this is about to get crazy. If they're talking about drug shortages, you can just imagine how people are with food, and they talk about food shortages and how that skyrocketed. A lot of these insurance companies are not going to cover these drugs if they happen to get really, really high. And a lot of people are going to have to make some tough, really tough decisions. And that's sad that, people have to choose between wanting to live or wanting to eat or wanting to even have a roof over their head or be able to sustain living because they are taking medication that helps them live. But this is the type of world we're living in right now, and it's really, really crazy. And this was just
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, the thing that angers me about this is that I heard glimpses of this maybe like 2 months ago. As far as the shortage on the medications, of course, they blame everything on COVID.
Right.
Now, once it hit the news, I read about it 3 weeks ago. Still hadn't heard anything, nothing on TV, nowhere else.
Yeah.
Until I dropped it and you see who the link I had dropped the link in there. One of the medical journal type things.
Yeah.
If you're taking or someone who's taking chemotherapy, tell them one of the ways that they will know is if they go for a certain battery of chemotherapy treatment. Say, for example, you have 6 rounds of a certain drug and they want to limit you to 5, then they're cutting back. Because it's not something as though they would normally, come out and tell you They may not say anything, but these are one of the things that you would probably notice if you're being affected, because there are certain drugs that they have less of. But just looking at how the way the media has carried it and has said anything about it, it's real ridiculous. They rather talk about all this stupid shit what Donald Trump is doing and all the rest of that kind of thing. Where this is more important.
Right, like we give a shit. Like, who didn't know Darnell was a crook? I mean, I just don't understand. Like, you sit there and they talk about this stuff like, oh, surprising news or breaking news. Who didn't know this man was a crook? Y'all just afraid to really put it on him because what you don't want to look like. It's a political thing. It's going to look political regardless because y'all let him flop around here this long. And not do nothing about it. So of course, either way you look at it, it's going to look political. You either going to stand by the law for everybody, or you're going to let this guy go, and then show the rest of the world, as long as you white and got some money, because I mean he's richer than of course we are, but he's not as rich as he claims. Then you can do anything, and they're not really going to come after you, but they'll come after us, even if we have money. I mean. You look at the stuff that they've done. So it's it's ridiculous. But I really employ all of you who have loved ones who are sick of, with anything, even if it's your regular health medication to maintain.
Yeah, just tell them pay attention. Pay attention. If it's something seems out of the norm, if something seems out of the norm, tell them to question it. Question everything. Right, because it doesn't necessarily have to be just cancer medications that's being cut. Next week it's something else. So any changes to their regimen, tell them to question. Put the bug in their ear just to be on the even if they go to their doctors and their doctor hadn't mentioned it to them, right? Then the option is up to them whether to bring up the conversation, which I think they should.
Yeah, definitely should. I think
because I believe your doctor should tell you straight up if there's an issue with supply and demand.
Yeah, but too many of the doctors are being paid, to push a lot of the bullshit too. So sometimes a lot of them don't even say, but they should. But yeah, that's definitely something to definitely look into. In other news, of course, Texas is back in the news
again.
However, though, I don't know. I think this sheriff's office in Bexar County, I think that's how you say it, in Texas, has filed a criminal case against Florida, against Ron DeSantis. Remember, good old Ron DeSatan had people come from 49 migrants from San Antonio to Martha's Vineyard, and then in Massachusetts. That sheriff's office said that they have filed a complaint in a criminal case against Ron DeSantis for his little gimmicks that he been doing. But I mean, I'm kind of confused why you haven't filed a case against your own governor who's been doing the same shit. So it just looks like very much people staking their claim of who they're standing with, or what team they're on.
At their taxpayers' dime.
Right. To prove like, we're on Trump's team.
Those flights weren't cheap.
No.
But yet you sitting in the dark in the wintertime because all that shit done froze.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Looking stupid because
you're flooding.
Right. He just riding around on his Hot Wheels. But so that was funny to me. I just was like, okay, so you're going to criminally sue Ron DeSantis for that, but you're not going to sue your own governor. Okay. It didn't pan out to me. It really didn't. But I guess because he flew them from Florida to San Antonio and then from San Antonio to Martha's Vineyard, that's the part that he wants to sue them for, because he flew them to San Antonio. But again, I just figure your governor was doing the same shit, busing them to New York and DC on buses. Well, you ain't sue his ass.
And private jets.
Yeah. So I just think it's just It's just making a stand of who they're with right now so early. And I mean, we haven't even had primaries yet. I mean, so it's just like y'all people, putting your stakes in the ground. You don't even know if this person is going to make it to be the only candidate. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing this so early. It's just ridiculous and funny, but definitely check out that article.
Yeah, Patty Duke. I've noticed that too, that it takes longer to fill a prescription. I really think the insurance companies are being extra picky.
Oh yeah.
Being extra picky about what they'll fill and what they won't. And then shit, you go to your pharmacist, they don't even relay the message that your insurance doesn't cover it.
Nope.
You sit there until you
$300 and something. You're like, what was it? Oh, your insurance doesn't cover that. Like, since when? So there's definitely, and I don't know if this had anything to do with the previous administration or local governments kind of laxing and again cherry picking what they wanted to use and what they didn't want to use in particular programs, to where in which now we're in a place where these things they're not uniform. It's sometimes this is not covered, that's not covered, in certain places, and you talk to other people in different states, go, oh well, mine's covered. I don't, you're like, well, how the hell mine not covered? So I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy. When one of my neighbors was getting her diabetic supplies from Canada, and she told me how much she was paying, that she would pay here in the States. I'm surprised. Like, God damn, seriously, you'd be broke.
Right. Yeah.
You would be broke. And it was almost like $1,000 a month from here, but only, maybe about 100 and so if she got it from Canada.
Wow.
I was like, are you kidding me?
And
these were older retired couple.
Yeah. And that's the part that I don't get. I mean, granted, I know that there are.
Well, no, I think they want you to hurry up and die. They don't want you to collect your Social Security. They don't want you to. They want to pocket all that money, all them old fat fuckers up there in DC. I was hoping. Did you hear that sonic boom?
Yes. Well,
I was hoping they was having another resurrection down there.
No, they trying a jet that crashed or something.
Yeah, evidently the pilot and they believe the passengers saved 20 minutes into the flight. I guess they all passed out.
Wow.
And he had already put the flight plan in, so it flew to Boston. And once it reached its destination, it did a return flight. That's why it flew up and turned right back around and came back. But it was 4 people: the pilot, a mother and her child, and the nanny.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But I hear explosion shots and everything else all the time. So it was nothing. I just figured it was I'm serious. 4th of July, they start. Look, 4th of July, they done started. They start early as shit. So it was like
they start the 1st of June. You start hearing stuff, and you're like, oh, it's not even.
Yeah, and it'll be all the way till Christmas.
Yeah, right.
But I sure did. I gave it no second thought. I just thought it was loud. They doing construction. Yeah. They could have dropped a guy. They could have nuked DC. Right. Yeah. The only way I didn't know is I smelled something. What's that burning? They called it square. Right. No. Oh shit! It's kind of close.
Yeah, too close.
Who fuck up the chicken?
Many don't burn no chicken. But speaking of burning, YouTube has now changed its policy to now allow false claims about past U.S. presidential elections. Say what?
You can't trust anything nowadays. Right. That's what's getting to you.
Exactly. So before, YouTube would not allow you to say anything that they deemed to be false information. They would definitely flag you or pull your content. Now, color me not surprised that everybody's jumping on the look over there, look over there, look over there kind of gravy train right now, because YouTube in and of itself is a business. Now, it's different from the model that Google is saying. Google is saying that they do not promote false information and falsifying information to the public. However, YouTube has just recently removed their restriction against their policy on false claims.
So no more. So no more strikes.
I don't know. I'll probably still see.
Well, you know, it is different. I was going to say it doesn't matter because you black.
You're right. They be like yellow. So I don't know, but you know, for anybody else, I hope this works out for you. Because I mean, it does nothing more but stir up the chaos.
Yeah, is that why we saw titties on the pool?
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. You gotta talk to Rebel about that. Them big old knockers on the pool. I was like, oh my gosh, girl. And I guess it would be heavy to be in the pool with them things. Just
no, actually, they were flotation devices.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, so that's that. I do believe now this is some great news that I even thought to myself, nope, this wasn't it. Where'd it go? No, don't tell me you see, I hate when this happens. Where'd it go? Oh, you kidding me. Hold on. Well, briefly, because I know a little bit about it off the top of my head. It was about, nope, that wasn't it. It was about Dr. Cornel West running for president in 2024. And that is the person I would vote for. But nothing came up but this.
Well, I dropped the link in.
Okay, thank you.
I dropped the link.
Yeah, so Dr. Cornel West from, I don't know if you people are familiar with his work, but he, was he a professor? He was a professor at Princeton. I'm not sure where he's at now. I think he's at Georgetown, but he was a professor at Princeton for a very long time. Then to me, and it's just my opinion, when he started to voice his kind of disagreements with the Obama administration and what he felt like Obama should be doing for the black community, Princeton said, you out of here. I guess maybe because Michelle is
that what they said?
Graduate. Yeah. Maybe because Michelle is a graduate and they was like, no, we don't want that smoke. You got to go. And he's at Georgetown.
Yeah.
He's still at Georgetown. He was even at NYU for a brief period. But yeah, he's running for president, and I definitely like his agenda. Please read the article. He was talking about, of course, closing the poverty gap for all people, education, environment, all the things that normal everyday Americans really do care about, because it's stuff that we struggle with day to day, paycheck to paycheck and things of that nature. Without all the extra kind of business as usual type of situation. And he's always been that way. That's why I definitely very much enjoy his books. I know, I was about to say something and I lost my thought. It'll come back to me. But definitely check out that article if you're looking for other alternatives to vote for. Now, the only thing I will say about this, though, that I hope it doesn't become a situation where it's like throw somebody in there to throw off the actual two that are running, and that way, like a Ross Perot type of situation. And that's what I don't want to happen.
End up with Trump or DeSantis.
Right. Or DeSantis. Right. And that's what I don't want to happen. So I figure that if, in fact, the push is real and people really get behind him, that they stay behind him. And if he gets the nomination as the third party candidate because I'm not sure if he's going to run Democrat, being that the president is already
I
sitting.
don't think he will.
So
Yeah.
I think he'll just run a third party. So, but if the numbers are up there and he's really there, that you stick with it and you vote all the way through. Don't do that dumb shit and you primary, you all pumping the man up there. Then general comes and nobody votes for him, or you just throw your vote away, and it really doesn't make a difference. Like, no, we don't need to do that. And then we always talking about, they just following the plantation. Well, here's a different kind of alternative pushing about the same issues that we always talk about. Well, they don't do nothing for black people. They don't do nothing. Well, here's a man running on that very platform.
Yeah, he not only could pull the black vote, but the younger people also.
Right.
Because he's not an old white man with old white men's thoughts, and he's legit, and he's not a Tim Scott or what's that other one that was chasing vampires and werewolves and shit. He's not. He's definitely Herschel. Oh, good Lord, yes, Lord. But that would be the only thing that it would weaken, and I'm sure the Democrats are probably having a shit fit.
Yes, of course.
Because he could siphon off that black vote because they haven't done what they said they were going to do.
No.
And what we wanted them to do, and when they had control, again, like I said, when they had control, they didn't do it.
Right.
So why would we continue to back you? Now we have somebody that we feel is legit.
Right.
And has common sense.
Right.
He's not a millionaire, at least I don't think. And he's black.
If he is, he don't.
Yeah, but it's because he's an educated person, and not because of business ventures and schemes and things like that they all do. That he schemed with some books and some college shit, but compared to all these, because the way I look at these politicians now, they're all fucking crooked. I don't trust any of them. I'd bop one in the head in a heartbeat. I just don't. Yeah. I just don't. You don't have. I can't trust you because of what you've shown, and what we've seen, and the things that come out, and the things that are not said. You always have to pay attention to the things that are not said.
Very true. Very true. Speaking of things that are not said, that shouldn't be said, conservatives, the whole thing is they're on this thing about banning woke. They don't even know what woke is. Okay. To me, woke
ask a white person.
Yeah. To me, woke to them is just code for black. And again, that's just my opinion. But I just think, they can't stay black. You know what I'm saying? So this is their way of throwing that out, the dog whistle, this woke material, this woke movement. What is a woke movement? What is that? They don't even know. But I don't know. A while ago, the poet laureate who spoke at Joe Biden's inauguration did the poem. There was a white woman in Florida who never read the poem, but wanted to ban the poem in her child's school, or ban it being read, ban it from the books. And she got her wish to have it banned from the school.
Because she thought Oprah did it. Huh? She thought Oprah wrote it.
But what happened to that? Didn't they love Oprah? White women loved Oprah at one point.
She stopped giving away cars. They
worship the ground she walked on. She could say, "Oh, this is my favorite thing," and it would fly off the shelves. Or, "Oh, join my book club," and they would go buy it. Didn't even know what the fuck they was reading.
She bought that's because they didn't read it. They just bought it because Oprah said to buy it.
It's just crazy, but yeah. So the whole premise of this article is conservatives always talk about stopping wokeness or banning wokeness from books and other materials. Yet they haven't read any of it to know what it says, what it means, or any of it. It's just,
You know
again,
what?
I just think it's
They
a
they
code for
can't
black.
yeah, they can't relate.
Yeah,
Of course, and of course they can't relate because they're on the other side of the fence.
yeah. Well, yeah.
So they can't relate when we say stay aware of what's going on, know where you're at. They
Mhm.
never had to live like we live.
Like that, yeah. Now that part is very true. They've never had to live like we live, yet they're
Mhm.
always very curious to want to kind of like come over to the other side.
No,
A
no,
little
don't.
bit. Yeah,
No,
but no,
stay.
thank you. You know, they don't.
I'm tired of them. I tell you, man, my neighborhood's filling up. I just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I can't afford to move. Can't afford to move.
Yeah, I mean, because
You
it's
think I'm gonna fucking move? You think I'm gonna fucking move? I'm gonna stay my ass right here in the hood where it's safe with gunshot. I'm gonna stay right here because I know that they packing.
Why
Shit.
did watch John Hopkins start buying up more and more and more
Yeah.
and more.
Yeah, they own all of that.
Yeah,
Plus the
of
the
downtown.
land that the land that the main post office is on, and not
Right.
only that, they've consolidated so many medical centers that
Mhm.
they're now under Johns Hopkins, Sinai, which is like the Weinberg and his wife or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's just. I mean, like I told you, when anytime that they went and they renovated um, the neighborhoods that
Right.
were around
Around there. Yeah.
and they were less than 10 years old and Johns Hopkins bought them out.
Yeah. Swept them up.
People, because it was in the program where they were helping people purchase their first
Purchase
home.
homes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they came right through and bought I hope those people made money off of it.
I hope
I mean,
so too.
but I don't think so
I don't.
because
Yeah.
those houses weren't going for
The houses weren't going for a lot, and then
for
the loans that they
astronomical money.
had.
The amount
Yeah.
of money for what they could purchase in the neighboring area. And then
Right.
you have some people that just enjoy living on the east side.
Right.
They've grown up on that side of town as they always wanted to stay there. But to be able to afford property someplace else, I don't think so. And I mean,
Yeah.
these were houses that they actually totally gutted
Yeah.
and redone. They were really
Mhm.
neighborhoods were really nice and everything.
Yeah. And now they've taken them and given them to their residents, their doctors, their nurses
Mhm.
for discounted prices.
At discounted prices, they sure do.
Just absolutely crazy.
Thank you, B More.
Right. Thank you so much.
And that's why we canceled the red line too,
Right.
because we don't want to
We
have
don't-
that running through our
Running through our
neighborhood.
neighborhoods. Right. Exactly. And speaking about running through the neighborhoods, Jenny Thomas. That
Thank God,
old,
thank God she wasn't streaking. Remember that they run around naked,
oh my God.
run up down the street naked.
She might as well have been. So the January 6th committee has found emails between Jenny Thomas and John Eastman. Jenny Thomas, of course, being the wife, the Karen wife of Justice Clarence Uncle Tom Thomas. Yeah. So, and basically, in a nutshell, of course, emails are just going back and forth that Trump won the election. Bullshit. What can we do to change this? What can we do? What kind of legal ramifications do we have to kind of make this stick? We just need a couple votes. Just the back and forth that we all knew already that was going on. Of course, I know we talked about it months ago that how Jenny Thomas was paid in her think tank group, paid for buses to come to DC to actually, do exactly what they did, fuck shit up. They were not coming to protest anything. They were coming literally to fuck shit up. That was their purpose because they lost. And just like they do when they lose, they throw a tantrum. And so, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like at this point, they need to start really putting pressure. And I know, again, we talk about things being so political, but there is no reason for a justice's wife to be this enthralled in and overturning of government. Like, this is treasonous. This is the same shit that they hung other.
Now let me emphasize something.
What's that?
These emails and texts was before January 6th.
Yeah.
See, we
Way
need to
before.
emphasize that.
Yeah.
Way before. So they were talking about, yes,
knew.
it's going to be great January 6th.
Yeah,
when
they
the insurrection.
knew
Okay.
that he lost the election.
Yeah,
Their
even
purpose,
before that.
Yeah, their purpose was, at this point, we're gonna lose. We're just gonna burn the whole shit down.
So we're planning. We're planning on January 1st.
Yeah, right. And force
that January 6th, we're going to have a shindig.
Yeah,
it's going to be on fire.
And force them to give the government back to Trump and his people.
To Trump.
Yeah.
Now, any other country would have had her shot on sight, and him
shot, hung, everything else on display, hanging from whatever tallest building they got, and people sitting at the top. That's inhuman. They don't play that nowhere else. Here it's like, it's
who you are. It's who you are here.
I was about to say that.
And there's no way in the world that his fat black ass would still be sitting on the Supreme Court.
No way. No, and talking about something, he didn't know any of this.
Oh, he knew. He knew.
Bullshit.
Oh, he was probably laughing. He's probably laughing. For whatever reason, somebody fucked him over. I don't know, some black person probably seriously fucked him over. And he has a vendetta.
Might have been a girlfriend when he was little.
But he was talking that when he was probably one of those nerdy ass clowns that was just like.
He probably wasn't even that attractive. Nobody really.
But you ain't got to be. Just be yourself. But he was probably just so. But you know what? Too when you've been indoctrinated
into white
culture, it's just like you can't. They can't relate to you.
Yeah. It's a true get out moment. It's a really true get out moment. And all of this. But yeah, I just think there's no way he should be sitting as a justice, period. And
he's compromised, and it's bad enough already with his thought process, as we've seen by his past the things that he's done in the past.
His past discussions and his past
and rulings.
Talks and rulings, right? And dissensions. They basically have always said what he felt or where he was leaning. So this is nothing new. The only surprise to me is that the wife is like there's a whole team involved. Like him.
That whole thing was probably that would make a good ass goddamn movie. How can we take over a government? That one should be called The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Just reusing that title. They reuse titles for movies all the time, but he would be the spook that sat by the door.
He would indeed.
Because they probably say, Jenny, because we know you're ass crazy. You in the cult any goddamn way. Jenny, go in there and give him some ass and do your best white girl stuff and get that nigger to come over to our side, and we'll just crash all these bastards.
Right.
Yeehaw. Mm-hmm. And Confederacy forever. Confederacy forever.
The South will rise again.
Mm-hmm. I'm you know what? But seriously, I would really. I mean, because you can't make this shit up.
No, you really can't. And I just don't understand how we're looking at. No other nation does this. Like Germany doesn't even do this. You don't even see them sitting there publicly. Like
you won't find any swastikas. You won't see any statues. You won't. Any.
Nothing.
Reference. They know the horror. They will tell you about the horror, but it is not celebrated. You don't.
They're still paying for it. So that's probably why. And I think that's what
everybody. You get a BMW and you get a BMW.
Right, you get a BMW. Everybody in Israel gets a BMW. You want to go here? We'll pay for it. And then your grandchildren and your great grandchildren are still getting paid from their descendants from the filmed atrocity of the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
It is. That's crazy. But yeah, any place else, she would disappear and her husband would disappear and whoever worked with
you're
her.
kidding me? Vladimir Putin would have. She would have
Oh
ate a salad and
no,
died.
he wouldn't have
Okay.
ate. You know what his MO is? He like people falling off of buildings.
Oh no, or
And-
poisoning their tea or some shit. He poisoned that one guy's tea. But
oh,
yeah, he would.
the guy in Britain,
Yeah.
him and his daughter or something. No, they
Yeah.
they were sitting on the park bench
Sitting on the
and they
park
touched the bench and that was it. They next thing you knew, it was 6 months later. He was still in the hospital. I want to know what kind of poison that was. To literally take you out. That was no Rona. I tell you that much. It wasn't no Rona.
No, it wasn't no Rona. You ain't never lied about that. No, where'd my other one go? See, this is playing games. All right, so real quick.
That's because it's an apple. See, I keep talking about playing with apples.
You know what? Don't do it. Don't do it. So Florida. So there's a cluster about 5,000 miles long of seaweed blobs, bringing fresh-eaten bacteria to Florida. So,
Flesh eating.
Flesh eating.
You don't have to worry about the pythons, the alligators that are snatching niggas' arms off. You can't even take a piss in the pond without getting your arm snatched off.
Yeah.
And now you have flesh-eating bacteria along with the stench of dead seaweed washing up on the beach.
This is crazy. So those
where's their governor? He's out campaigning.
He's out campaigning.
Hey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit. But yeah, some decomposing pieces of this bacteria has found its way on the coast of Florida, about 5,000 miles long. It's flesh-eating bacteria, so which means you get touched, and it will touch you back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so be careful.
Yeah, and that seems to be a thing down there also. That warm water. A lot of people are getting that stuff. So don't go. You better stop at the knees because you dip a tip. That's it.
That's it. Eat up your toes.
You eat more than your toes.
But 5,000 miles, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, talk about the whole coast, and they get that. What is it? The red tide every year, and with the hurricanes. So now it's not. Right. It's not even going to stay on the beach. It'll get washed up in your backyard.
Start whipping that stuff around. Yeah, it'll really be an issue.
It'll be a UTI you won't forget.
Oh, you know what? I like it.
Your shit be burning.
Be burning for real. Yeah, definitely. All right, and I think I have two more lastly to go, but this one, of course, we always have this segment of our president doing something, and it's called the Oh No Joe. So in honor of Oh No Joe, here we go. All right. So in the Oh No Joe, we got a moment. All right. Of the president and his I don't know what you call it. But just take a look if you haven't already seen it.
It's time for Joe to have one of those little walkers with the wheels and the little seat.
Right. You talking about it was the mic thing.
I think he kind of looked like he was going to kind of, I guess, trot off a bit.
Yeah.
To show that he was still spry.
Right.
It's like
he don't
even know where to sit.
He looked quite disheveled after that.
I could not have sat in the front row, okay?
No.
Because I'd have hollered. Woo! Joe!
Pick up your
God
feet,
damn.
bro. Pick up your feet.
Cornell look good, don't he?
Right.
Cornell look real good.
Real good.
Real good. Mm-hmm.
Right. And then for the simple fact that you can see where he tried to get up, but he just didn't have
He
it in him.
ain't had the strength. And I do mean he does not have the strength.
He didn't have
Okay.
it. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't. Another 4 years of this,
I can't. We as a country could not do it. And plus, too, it's time to take Joe out of those those dress shoes.
Yeah.
It's time for him to have. It's time for him to get some Skechers.
Get him some Skechers or some Reeboks and stuff. Get him
Yeah, with a soft show with some grip.
With some
And
grip.
because you get older, you lose feeling in your toes and stuff like that. You trip. Your perception of where your feet are it's time for some Skechers, Joe.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can give him some presidential Skechers. You can get some red, white, blue, some.
They look official. They go well with a suit. Everybody's wearing that. Everybody wearing dress shoes. All that. It is. It's time for him to come out them dress shoes.
It is
definitely because at this rate.
It's not looking good. It's not looking
at this rate. We all's in trouble,
right? Big time. But yes, but that was that. Poor Joe.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody coming into the chat.
Hey, everybody. Hey. And of course, in other news that has hit the news, Tasha K has filed for bankruptcy following a court order, of course, to pay Cardi B the $4 million, but I think it's actually 4 point something, but $4 million payout to Cardi B for the harassment, pain and suffering and everything that she caused her during the time she alleged that Cardi B had a sexually transmitted diseases. I'm not surprised. Of course she was going to do that, but my whole thing is what you do with the assets. Where'd you hide them? And I think maybe that's why we was over in the motherland for so long.
She should have stayed. She should have asked for citizenship. I'm not lying, because that amount of money, if they would not have come, if they weren't able to come after her and seize her assets, I'd have stayed. I'd have lived the rest of my life nicely in Nigeria or.
Yeah, somewhere.
Gambia or something. Don't go to Ghana. Don't go to Ghana because they's killing motherfuckers. You can't be fucking over and they will kill you.
No.
You need to go some Gambia, Zambia, whatever. Don't look for Wakanda because that's just a myth. But I think she should have stayed in her husband's motherland. And I know he bop her in the head every time. It's like,
so she's
that is a classical
$60,000 in total assets, which is probably bullshit because you bought a house, so that's not.
That was This is a classic rags to riches story.
Yeah,
and they worked hard for it.
Rag to riches,
but I think, yes, but your head gets so pumped. And I always say it anyway. Power corrupts. People change. Yeah, power corrupts. Money corrupts. Right. Everybody can't handle it.
Yeah.
But somebody. I believe somebody in her family, and I don't know her family dynamic. She should have had that one person that always keeps you grounded. That third person that's not your husband. Or whatever. That say, don't you need to go sit your ass down, leave that girl alone.
Yeah.
And
maybe somebody was, but she just felt like she was so emboldened to do so. Because I honestly think that it's somebody else with the real money that was pushing her to keep this shit going.
I think so. Could it have been her rival, Nicki Minaj?
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's the first thing. Look, I'm fucking 60 years old, and that's all I kept thinking. Yes. It's like anything to tarnish her rival.
And I'm thinking,
now you Nicki people don't come for me because I don't even know what the bitch thing. Okay, I couldn't tell you.
I'm just thinking it just fit so well that somebody pushed you with someone like, oh, okay, keep doing this, and I'm gonna do this, keep doing this, and I'm gonna do this. And now that you're in the situation, you're stuck because that person is not gonna bail you out.
Yeah. That was probably the you had to sign an NDA.
Yeah, right.
You can't reveal
But it's the reason
where you're
why she
getting this.
hasn't even said that, we've had this agreement, because she's already signed. She signed way
Mhm.
before, things went south, even in that situation. So she can't do anything about it. So now, but she's stuck with this, $4 million bill that she can't pay. But the person that was pumping her up to do it said, "Oh, I got your back. Go ahead, do it. Keep
Mhm.
doing it. Keep doing it. Invite this one. I found these people you can interview that know about her being a stripper back in the day, and and you put them
Mhm.
on the show." And all this stuff was to tarnish the shit out of her. But you had already signed. You can't say nothing about nothing.
Yeah,
The
your
agreement,
sources.
nothing.
Mhm.
The
And
quote
what you
unquote sources that you
yeah,
had.
the whole thing was what you make is what you make. It's all yours. All I want to
Yeah,
do is destroy her reputation.
right.
I want to knock her out of the
Take her out
game
the box. Yeah.
because that side seemed awfully quiet. And like I said, I'm not
Yeah.
even a person that follows that
Any of it. Yeah,
type
that
of
too. Yeah,
stuff.
neither.
That's not my genre, as I say. That is not
Right.
my genre.
It's not my it's not my ministry, really.
Mystery. Yeah, because the girls can't hold a note. They
Right.
do
But
nothing. They do
the
nothing for me.
pieces fit. Like the pieces totally fit. Like you put
Hmm.
this person out here, you amped her head up to, hey, if you do this, I got you. I got you. I got you. Sign this, and we got you. No matter what kind of legal thing we got you. We're gonna
Hmm.
do this. We're gonna do that. And it was like, all right, cool. Because I just can't see a person building something from the ground up, and you so fixated on this one thing that you cannot
Yes,
back
I
down.
mean,
It
kept
makes no sense.
kept pounding it and pounding it and
It
pounding
makes
it, and everybody kept
no
saying, your shit is wrong. Your shit is wrong, and you just
right.
kept going. You kept going at it. You kept hitting that ass like it was the last piece of ass that you was gonna ever get. And you would see what happened. See what happened.
And it
Hmm.
happened.
Yeah, it happened.
It happened
Hmm.
just that way.
Skeet, 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 and it's over.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
all over. I mean, to lose as much,
everything.
and
Everything.
if not, just to stop doing it because you're endangering your family's
Family.
well-being and livelihood.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would make me stop. It's like, oh, I'm about to fuck up the kids' college
Yeah,
money, and I
but see,
know this shit ain't gonna happen again.
but again, that's why I think that somebody else was driving this train that had far more
No, they
money,
weren't.
that
They
they
were
were like,
running the train. They weren't driving the train.
yeah, that they were like, I will drop you this check. Like, this check is yours. All I need you to do is do this. And it got too out the weeds, and that person backed out. And she
Hmm.
can't say who or whom the people were who were a part of this, but I truly think that it had to be some people behind this whole thing to
Oh
destroy
yeah. Oh
this.
yeah. It's a wider picture.
Yeah,
But you know what? Tasha, wait a couple of years, write a book.
right. Yeah,
Everybody want to know.
everybody wants to know
Everybody want to know.
who was it? Because there's no way
Hmm.
you're gonna sit and tell me it was just you. You just knew. You just had this feeling. There's no way, because even people.
Hey, girl,
You started something like
make
that.
sure you do it on audio.
Yeah,
Do an audible
yeah, do
book
an
because
audio book.
your demographic don't read. And these young kids, Cardi's people and Nicky's people and all of other little
No.
children's, they don't read. They'll listen to the audio book though.
Yeah, they will definitely listen to
They
the
will
audio.
definitely.
Or do both. Do audio and
Well, yeah, I mean to do both, but make sure you do the
the
audio
yes.
in your voice. Don't get an actor.
Yeah,
Do it
you
yourself.
do it yourself. Yeah.
Do it yourself, and I would think she would be able to recoup a lot because it's on the world.
Hey, she might be able to pay that $4 million if she really tell the business.
Yeah, make sure you pay that first.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that house was worth. I don't know if y'all. I don't know if y'all got some land over there in Nigeria.
I don't know.
Because I'd have bought some land over there.
But
I sure would have.
and hope it
Because
has
it's
some
cheap.
oil in it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's cheap. Shit over there cheap. They Get somebody to make some bricks, build you a house over there. It'd probably be $65,000. You see them houses over there? Them houses be gorgeous as shit. I don't know why it just don't look real. They got marble floors and all the rest of that stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'd be right over there. My kids be speaking clicking from every goddamn thing out.
You know what?
They be
Okay.
They will know the native language. You know that.
So of course, Karens have shown themselves to be ruthless when it comes to things that they want to confront or anything of that nature. But I came across this one Karen that kind of takes the cake. Take a look at this and I'll explain it after you watch.
This message lasts 2 minutes. This is for Rachel, you big, fat, white, nasty, smelling, fat bitch. Why you took me off the motherfucking schedule with your trifling, dirty, white, racist ass, big, fat bitch, oompa loompa body ass bitch. I'm coming up there and I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you, bitch.
All right. So, real quick on this story. A child passed away, and the gravesite have plants. As you can see, the plants and teddy bears and things at the gravesite. They put an air tag in the plants for grave robbers who were going to rob the person's grave.
The flowers and things like
the
that.
Flowers and things. There are air tags on them. So when they go to the gravesite and it's missing, they can find it and bring the law enforcement with them to retrieve their loved one's property from their gravesite. Yeah, and she had it on her driveway with the air tag in it. And then she had nerve to say, well, why did you have to have why did you put an air tag in it? Bitch is mine. What you mean why?
Yeah.
Why did
now
you
that was
steal it? And
that
then
was
you
kind
went
of
in there with a walker. That's why I was trying to be like, oh, you didn't have that walker when you pulled that shit from the ground and
so she had help. She had help because that walker didn't have a basket on it to hold that plant. Now I would have.
But still, that you picked it up and pushed it to your car.
Yeah. Can you imagine? She probably lived right behind the damn cemetery.
That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking she lives right by the cemetery.
Mm-hmm. But that was a pretty elaborate. It was a pretty elaborate plant setup or whatever they call it, floral arrangement. And
it's a tombstone set. It's the whole tombstone plaque with the plant.
Yeah, but the actual plant with the potted plant that she had taken.
Yeah,
that was pretty elaborate. Usually, yeah. You say it wasn't attached.
No.
I tell you.
No, it wasn't.
Well, look, but you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Because remember last week we talked about that nun that's been using Duke's moisturizer.
Yeah.
You know, they're actually touching. They're allowing the people to touch the body.
No.
They are allowing people to touch the body.
You know what? That reminds me of that movie. What was that movie where the opening scene was they were at ministers or like a Catholic priest gravesite, and they were thinking that they could be healed by him, but it was like this where his crypt was. There was sludge coming from. Was it Runaway Jury? I think so. There was like this sludge from this chemical plant that had kind of infiltrated into the crypt, and so he had like this green stuff on him, but it preserved his body, and people were like kissing it and doing all kinds of stuff. And but I was just like, oh, that is so gross. Like that is so gross. Like, ugh.
Gross.
But that's crazy. But
that's a bit much. I'm not taking nothing off of anybody's grave. Look, I don't want to pull the little urn out the pocket, the built-in vase that's in the in the placard.
Right.
But to steal it
is
off of there. Now
it's a bit much and crazy. Now, I
depending
mean,
upon.
it could have been it could have been kids, it could have been her grandkids or whatever.
Oh,
But
they
she's like,
brought
"Hey,
it.
Mom, we got this,
let's
we
get
brought it."
let's get Nana some flowers. We
Yeah,
love
right,
you, Nana.
right.
Them fucking kids.
Right. Happy Mother's Day, but it had a whole air tag in it, so therefore she
Yeah.
got busted. And they
Like I
nicely
said, because it was real elaborate. I mean,
Yeah.
that was top of the line.
Right.
That what they took what she took off of there because it was at her house, so we're going to assume she did it. But most cemeteries, they'll allow you to play certain things, but after a certain time, they're removed. Now, I always thought that was a big scam anyway. I just figured they always went through them. They always went through them, and then they sell them, on the side of the road.
And then they would come back. 20 years ago did an expose on that they would come back and pick them up. And then or the florist would come back and pick them up and then resell them to
because those things were plastic.
Yeah.
The ones that had, especially say like Memorial Day or 4th of July, especially when they put the flags and stuff out there, and they'll just collect them all up. They don't. I don't believe that they would trash them because they hadn't been out there that long to be damaged.
Yeah.
So.
Which is absolutely crazy.
But bitch, you'll get yours. I ain't never, because you look like you're close. Look like you're close to the cemetery now.
That is just absolutely crazy. Yeah, she might be closer than she think doing that shit. I just think
hell yeah.
That is some crazy shit.
Yeah, let me answer Patty's question. Yeah, Patty, who wears dress shoes these days nowadays? Girl, I got maybe 2 pairs. I got rid of all my dress shoes. I said, fuck that shit. Them they have your ass with bunions and everything else. They look nice and you look sharp.
Too. Yeah, but he's older. I can see if he was younger. I kind of get it, but he's older. It's like, come on, dude. We know
if you're going to a dinner, a formal dinner or something like that.
To a formal dinner, that's different. But you're really
Skechers, Joe.
A graduation, right? Put on them goddamn Skechers, stop trying to be cute, walking around here thinking that you're young.
Soft show. That's right. They slip on, Joe. They have sticky sole Joes. Man, you make a killing in endorsements. Seriously, because nobody does all that. That shows how old you are, Joe. You still wear dress shoes.
Speaking of sticky situations,
oh Lord, what's that?
You sent me this clip of the 106 in Park.
I had forgot all about that.
AJ, that the whole time he was on 106 in Park, he wore a lace front wig. Like his dress.
That is crazy. All of it is a fucking lie, man. Just everything. This is the Matrix. All of it is a lie. I just knew that was his hair. He was wearing a lace front the whole time.
Mind blown. Boom.
Wow. Does Whoopi Goldberg? Well, I know Whoopi gets her locks wrapped.
Yeah.
Because they look too heavy. It looks as though it would be too much stress on them too. Because as you get older, your hair thins.
Yeah.
But wow, when he had that, I just knew he had locks or whatever.
Well, it never really changed, so that's why I was just like,
at least it was consistent. That was the thing. He probably put the same one on every day, or had 2 or 3 of them. They were made the same exact way. The style never changed or anything. But to actually see that, and they took it off, they hid that shit in the vault too. That shit would have got out.
He probably had an NDA as well for that shit that he couldn't.
Yeah. Well, too, because they can't alter their appearance. Yeah. A lot of times when they do those TV shows, they can't come in with blonde hair or nothing like that.
But that's the thing too. He was, at the time, at the height of the show, they were doing public appearances and everything else.
Yeah.
He had that on.
But I'm like those kids wouldn't have saw him out in the street somewhere and saw that he had a teeny tiny afro. Yeah. That he had a lineup.
Right.
That he had waves.
Right.
How you do that? Then the next week I was real surprised. That really threw me for a loop. I was like, damn, all this shit is a fucking lie. Everything.
It got you, bitch. That's what it was. It was
Yes, and it sure was, and it got me, and I wasn't even a fan of the show like that. And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I glanced at, it all depends on who was on it on the show. And come to find out, he wearing a lace front. All that shit is just a lie.
It is. So let's get into more lies. Let's go into this YouTube stuff right after this.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who has been saying that? Who said that? Who said that?
All right. So now here we are with the Who Said That. And if you don't know what Who Said That is, this is the more relaxed, kind of less political. Just
I don't know. We didn't seem real relaxed tonight.
Right. But this is where we just talk about YouTube stuff and other stuff that's going on entertainment wise, anything like that. So, all right. So first, let's just get right into it. So it looks like 7 stars, a fellow content creator here on the YouTube streets, is 9 weeks pregnant.
Ooh, 7 stars.
7 stars.
Wow, 7 skeets. Skeet, 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 skeet.
I'm not even doing it. But, however, I will say, just being, kind of observing the whole thing, that if this 9 weeks, that to me, in my estimation, means we was doing the Bang Bang Boogie with no anything early. Like it was like wham bam, thank you, ma'am, in the back of the car.
What state does she live in?
California, I believe.
Oh, okay.
She's safe. She's safe in that regard. If she decides to go that route, not promoting that, but it's your decision, your body.
Obviously it's your body. But all I have to say is congratulations.
Right.
Have a healthy and safe pregnancy.
Yes. That, of course.
And make sure that motherfucker got a job.
Yeah, that's the whole other thing. Make sure he has a job to help you support and play that child support. Because if not, you're going to be out here singing the single mother, song about him being a deadbeat and this, that, and the other. But it looks like he does take care of his other children, because apparently the wife had a nice little message. If you haven't taken a look at it, to her, and this is addressing 7, and it said, this year marks a decade of marriage. And this is all, I'm just reading exactly what the woman wrote. This year marks a decade of marriage. You see his daughter on his right side. Nobody will ever break this bond. He cut the umbilical cord when she was born and let me sleep the day away while he held our newborn child in his arm, his only child. Thank you. Thank you for making it possible for him to get back home quickly, to embrace the love and spend time with all of his children. Thank you for the free advertisement. I have gained 1,200 subscribers in 1 week. When he was working at Mike's and we were on the phone, all of us were home. He would say, back at home,
God.
He would say, back at home, life is not a love and hip hop episode. There will be no reunion show. 10 years. She put the lovey face with the hearts and stuff. And then it says, P.S. I will never kick a dog while they're down. I have real life reels. I love, I cook, and I clean, and I take care of my family. I'm sorry. The 7
right, Baps.
What she say? I can't read it. I'm sorry. The 7-year fling
Lord
did not work. You will have what? You will have better luck next time. Take your vitamins, hydrate, and heal. Sincerely yours, whatever that woman's name is. But that was the letter from I don't even want to say wife. I don't know if she a wife or a girlfriend, but and even in this estimation with this little note or letter, I'm still thinking to myself, but girl, he cheated on you too. So you sitting up here gloating. What are you gloating about? There's nothing to gloat about.
That's the thing I never understood
Understood.
when they go after each other.
Right. Like you got a prize.
If they knew, if the only time I could see it is if they were aware of each other,
Right.
and that makes me question. But when it's one of those things when they don't, one doesn't know, and it's like a total surprise. Why do they go after each other? You need to go after him. Seven skeets.
Right.
You know, that's who you needed to go after. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Right. Right. It's like he's the one.
Because
You know what I'm
he
saying?
ain't about shit.
No,
Because
obviously.
and if you just thought it was just a shot in the dark, you obviously
And then I guess
didn't
people
take your birth control pills, girl. You
claiming that
did all kinds of shit.
well, even that, I'm just thinking
And
a little bit of that is
swallow,
because
girls,
you
swallow.
wanted to. No, I think at this point you probably wanted to have a baby, and this was
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
the
because
opportunity. So you're kind of just, but to just settle, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, did you not think that you could possibly find somebody else who would be able to provide you that and be stable and be single, or not have all this extra to where you have to go back and forth? Because if you continue with this, you will be competing with her, them, him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this will be an ongoing thing for the rest of your life. Like, this is not, unfortunately, this is not a love and hip hop show. Hey, Beth and everybody in the chat.
Is that like the Stepford Wives?
Yeah.
Yes, dear. I cook and clean, and
I don't know.
His sheets are fresh. His
I
sheets
don't
are
know
fresh for him every day. I take his shoes off.
Listen, it's a lot of
His underwear are clean. They were nice and fresh, and I ironed them. Girl, please.
There's a lot of this going on. I don't know what the deal is.
Ugh.
Like I said, I do wish her to have a safe pregnancy.
Yes, definitely. That is the most important thing. Stay the fuck off of this. Stay the fuck off of this. Stay the fuck off of this, and stop telling your business. Stay the fuck off of this.
Keep
because they gonna be riding your ass like everything, and you're gonna hear a lot of shit that you don't want to hear, and the baby doesn't deserve it.
Yeah,
plain and simple.
The baby didn't ask to be here. So yeah. And speaking of other shit, Tracy has a man at home.
Wait a minute. If any of you familiar with Millie Jackson, the woman she always referred to as Mrs. Jody.
Mrs. Jody. Right.
It's like every goddamn song is Mrs. Jody. I said, who she got a band? I said, Millie got a vendetta against Miss Jody. I don't even know who the hell Miss Jody is.
This is a whole playlist of songs right now. The Boy Is Mine, all kinds of stuff. You can go down the list. There's a whole bunch of songs that you could attach to this whole situation and play. Molly, this is what she say. Shirley, this is so and so. All these songs can be played for this situation, and it's just really crazy. That exactly.
Shirley, this is 7.
Shirley, this is 7. I have your man's baby. Woman to woman. Oh God! But speaking of,
no, I'm still laughing. Whew. Go ahead.
I'll let you get it out.
No, it's just God. Women, can we still doing this shit? This is not the 1950s. Stop it.
I mean, it makes good movie. Well, anyway, the picture that she was referring to, he is playing video games. He's actually playing a football, like a Madden football game, and the child is sitting beside him as they lay on the bed as he's playing a football game. That's the picture she took. That's the picture she was talking about. I mean, technically you could have taken that any time. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't necessarily have to be there to
That was 2 years ago.
right, that could have been a picture 2 years ago, what have you. So I mean, it was like, well, that what does that mean? But okay, if you feel like you won, like he's a prize, he's such a prize. He was having an affair on you with somebody else, but he's a prize, right? You won. Whoop-de-doo. So I think a lot of self-esteem needs to be, like people just need counseling separately. I think a lot of separate counseling needs to be had, because for a woman to be with a man and have a child with a man, he goes and cheats on you, and you think you the prize because he came back to you after his rendezvous, talking about, oh, I'm sorry it didn't work. Where did it not work? Where did it not work? I don't know. I don't know who's worse, Seven or you, because he keeps doing this and coming back to you, and you keep letting him come back. So then who's the you looking at her like, I'm sorry this didn't work, but what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you keep allowing him to do this to you, and then you keep inviting him back? And you
Skeet.
Yep. Well, he must have some good skeet or something. But speaking of skeet and spreading, Tracy has a new man who says he likes mustard.
Why does that sound like a venereal disease? Got the Tracy's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Tracy's new man says he likes mustard, although he does. I listen to him today.
I don't want to hear anybody's YouTube sexcapades on it.
The man said he liked mustard. He was on ZX's channel today, and they asked him about Tracy and the mustard situation that was given to her by Rob Rack, her former lover, who wound up being incarcerated during
Is he still in?
Time.
Is he still in? Is he out?
I don't know. I really don't know. He might still be in, because I didn't heard anything.
Dang.
And then he got out.
He got that money. He just ran for the border. He ran for that border, girl.
And then get right back in. So my advice to Tracy's new boo: please watch yourself, because it seems to be that you get entangled and you end up in jail. So be careful.
They don't have nothing. They don't have no shots for the mustard.
Yeah, they don't have no shots for the mustard. The mustard is what it is. Yeah.
You say Bap is like Days in Our Lives and hip hop all rolled into one. A hot ass mess. These grown ass people.
It's just crazy. So if he likes mustard, he likes mustard.
Do they have a Mrs. Chancellor?
He sounded a little delayed. He did sound a little delayed.
Did he?
Yeah,
so she harboring on the handicapped, huh?
Well, she ain't that much. I mean,
okay.
we acting like she's not.
Yes, that is true.
As a card carrying member, just not mentally. Yeah, they're both. Yeah, that would be fine. That would be fine. It's like that movie with the two Down syndrome. Yeah, it's like that movie. Yeah. So yeah, I just, if that's, I wish you all the best and great. Have a great relationship.
Yes, the only thing that we hope for you is that you have a nice and healthy relationship.
Yes. And hopefully he's not using you, because apparently ZX, because I didn't listen to all of it, I was working, but ZX called him out, basically saying that he's just doing this to move to San Antonio, probably use Tracy until somebody else comes along and then leaves her.
That's what happens after the.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, that's what happens after winter, the homosexual season. They branch off and try to look for new digs.
Right.
And I heard it's going to be a heavy ass winter this year. I heard it's going to be bad.
I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
going down to San Antonio.
Every mustard seed. All it takes is a little mustard seed. That's all it takes.
You going to hell. You are going to hell. You're going to hell.
The book says that.
Yeah, that's why you going to hell. Because even me, knew that one. And I was like, oh shit, he done what biblical.
But I
Yeah, that's what the book. Yeah, but the book doesn't say anything about Treacy's
Treacy's
in,
mustard.
in Corinthians.
Oh. I thought it was talking about Treacy's mustard and Jobs. I mean,
Jobs. Yeah, you going to have you know fuck up the white man's book.
Oh, dang. It's been such a revelation. I kid, but all the best. Whatever it is, it is.
Patty has the stomach turns. Yeah. I can just imagine them smells. All right.
So, but that's about it. That's all I got, I think. Yeah, that's really all I got. Can't think of anything else off the top of my head that was like, oh, no, I think that was it. That's all I really listened to just like recently. I think Ness and Brian were going at it for what? I don't really know. I know some other names were mentioned during Ness's comeback at whatever Bryant was saying on Miss Pizarro's platform. And then she also mentioned Andrea Lynch. So I don't know I have no idea what was said, but I know she mentioned a lot of people's names. So that'll be interesting to see what this is, what it's all about. Where did it stem from? I don't know. So the way it was talking, what I gathered, it's apparently something to do with Miss Heat and kind of their relationship. I think she thinks that it's like people being jealous of the attention she's getting and all this other kind of stuff, but I don't know. Who knows? But I don't know. That's why I don't really watch it like that. I just skim it. I listen to it while I'm doing something else and kind of just whatever, because it's really all that. The way they go back and forth is really just like, girl, like,
yeah, it's like every week.
Go to work. Go to work.
Yes. Pandemic's over now. Bills are rolling in.
Yeah. So pretty much that is it. That is all. As far as how the woman looks, they kind of look similar. I can kind of see what he likes. He likes like brown skinned women, particular features, but they kind of look alike. Well, not like the other woman's ugly, because they're either one of them are not ugly, but they have, brown skin. Their particular features are the same, like they have same type of lip. One person nose is smaller than another, but they kind of, he has like a look that he goes for. So, that'll be interesting to see how all this turns out. I wish everybody the best, and I will just be here to watch it all unfold, and we'll talk about it on Tuesdays. All right. So, without further ado, I think that's all I got. I ain't really been watching anything. Haven't seen The Little Mermaid yet. I plan to do that when there's not a whole bunch of kids in the movie theater.
Yes. We better hurry before they get out of school.
They're already out here.
Oh, they are? Mm.
No, we ain't doing that. So, if I do, I'll probably do an early movie while they're still sleeping.
Definitely. And not on the weekend. Ugh.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But it's gotten good reviews.
Yes, it has.
And it's made Disney a lot of money.
It has.
And it has propelled the young lady.
Yeah.
That's Haley, right? Yeah. The other one, Chloe is the other one. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Has propelled her to a status.
Yeah.
Which I am happy for her, especially since I've never seen people. Yes, we have, because every time something that includes us white people that aren't involved, they get upset.
They do.
So I'm happy for her.
Yeah. Yep. So without further ado, that's all I got. And until next time, you beautiful black people, you got anything you want to say as we end this out?
Skeet.
You know what? I'm not doing this with you, sir. Everybody, please have a great night.
Everyone, take care.
All right. Until next time. Peace.
CCNTV.